Old Henry is a 2021 Western film written and directed by Pazzi Pontrioli, and it stars Tim Blake Nelson, Trace Adkins, and Stephen Dorff. It is kind of a minimalistic film. There's not really a whole lot of characters in this. It's a it's a really small cast, and we don't really get a whole lot of set pieces. It's kind of a traditional western in the sense that we get a lot of landscapes, and a lot of the images in this are quite lovely to look at. Yeah, one thing that has happened in a lot of westerns that have come out recently is that they're not really all that beautiful to see. When you look at old John Wayne things and some old spaghetti westerns, even Shane, for instance, they don't really. I mean, they actually do look really nice. So lots of really nice landscapes and the bright sun beating down. All those things are quite lovely to see. And the way that director Potsy does this, is able to kind of recapture all that. I really enjoyed. So the movie stars Tim Blake Nelson, who is best known for doing "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" and um, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Now, I didn't really care for those movies. I think I need to see "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" again, but I didn't care for Ballad of Buster Scruggs. But in this one right here, in Old Henry, I thought that Tim Blake Nelson's performance really maybe it didn't really make the movie um, as good as it was. I thought that the movies that he gave a surprisingly top-notch performance. He directed the movie The Gray Zone from 2001, which is a Holocaust film, and that just showed his directing chops were really good. But in Old Henry, he's not behind the camera at all. He's only in front of it. And if he okay, this it's later on in the year. Right now it's October, and right now I hope that Tim Blake Nelson gets Oscar recognition because right now is a time where we have all um, these Oscar bait movies, Oscar caliber movies coming out, and they're going to be a lot fresher in the minds of Oscar voters. So yeah, if Tim Blake Nelson doesn't get any sort of nomination, then that wouldn't surprise me either. But if he does, then I'll be very proud of that. So yeah, Old Henry is it's kind of a mix between Shane from 1953 and the David Cronenberg movie History of Violence from 2005, with a little bit of Unforgiven Clint Eastwood thrown into the mix. It's about It's about this guy who is he has a stash of money, and he's being hunted by Stephen Dorff and his goons. And the guy that has the money winds up on the steps of Tim Blake Nelson, whose name is Henry. Um, so yeah, they Nelson nurses him back to health, and when Stephen Dorff and his gang come over, um, he wonders who to believe. Does he believe Stephen Dorff's crew that they're the good guys, or does he believe that it's um, this near dead guy that who's to believe really? So yeah, not knowing who's who, like who the good guy is. Henry and his son are kind of torn as to who to believe, who should carry as to who they should um, be loyal to. Now, that's a pretty original story. I like it. It's kind of like the storyline itself is kind of like a history of violence in that sense. In the history of violence, you wonder, is Viggo Mortensen really who he says he is, or is he actually an old gangster in the witness protection program? That's maybe it's just me, but I found some similarities between History of Violence and Old Henry. But anyway, back to the movie. Yeah, Stephen Dorff is a very underrated actor. I thought he did a mighty fine job in this. And yeah, as I said before, Tim Blake Nelson, I was really surprised with him. Now, near the end, there's a couple of spoiler alert, spoiler. There's a couple of twists that happens. I don't want to ruin too much, but let's just say that there's some spoilers in this, and they really elevate Fine Movie to even new heights. And they elevate the heights to where it becomes very smart, and it really gets you thinking a long time after. I was contemplating whether like what how many stars I should give this film, but I've been thinking about this quite a bit lately. It's not perfect. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but I really did enjoy this quite a lot. And frankly, the little that final act there, when things really get kicked into high gear, was pretty cool stuff there. So I'm going to give Old Henry 3.5 stars out of 4.